Hello once again and welcome to another watch along of Bad Influence. Today we are on Series 1 Episode 7 and if I'm not mistaken we should be coming up to Christmas 1992. So let's see what we've got today. Doop doop doodaloo doop.
Hello, wondering what to buy the games buff in your life for Christmas?
Oh yes.
Worry no more, as Bad Influence gives you the complete lowdown on the Christmas goodies, including our special guide to buying from abroad.
And our main review this week is Mickey and Donald's World of Illusion.
Ah, I had this. That was awesome. The graphics are amazing on this.
And now I'll be lurking around the only museum in the world devoted to computers.
I wonder where that is then. Right, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, actually, before we go any further, can anybody over the age of about 19 just leave the room for a second,
That's
please?
me then.
They're gone? Right, the rest of you, come here. The next bit is not really for you, the games experts. It's what you might call a service to Santa. Get my drift? Just thought I'd let you know. Okay, so sorry about the next bit. Away you go. Right, they can come back in again now. Ladies and gentlemen, Bad Influence is proud to present its Idiot's Guide to Christmas Computers. I thank you.
The first decision you have to make is whether to buy
this
a
is good.
computer or a console. Even expensive consoles like this one, the Neo Geo, cost less than most computers. They're very easy to use because the games come on cartridges, which plug in and run straight away. But they are only designed to play games.
Yeah,
Computers
true.
have keyboards and cost more, around £400 for the most popular ones. They require some technical skills to load the software, normally from floppy disks like these. But they can be used for lots of things as well as games. Painting systems, like this one, word processing to make music, and so on and so forth. So if you just want to play games, go for a console. If you think you might want to do other things as well, pay the extra money and get a computer.
The consoles you'll see in the high street are made by two main companies. Sega, whose star is Sonic, the hedgehog with attitude.
Is that a
and
Master
Nintendo,
System
famous
2
for
down
Mario,
there?
the Brooklyn Plumber.
Are we kind
The
of still in the
older
transition
consoles are
period at the
called
moment, aren't we?
Sega
Between the
Master
8-bit and the
System
16-bit.
the NES, which stands for Nintendo
I always
Entertainment
preferred
System.
the design
They're
of the
what's known as 8-bit
first
consoles,
Sega Master
and they're
System
old
because it's more
technology.
80s.
We don't recommend
It's bigger,
buying them new.
but it was
You
kind
can
of
get
quirky
8-bit
like that.
machines complete with a load of games, cheaply second-hand, as people sell them when they buy
That's
more
good.
expensive
That's good
equipment.
advice, I guess.
The latest consoles are called 16-bit. They are the Sega Mega Drive.
Sure, I said it before. Had both of them.
NES.
Not at the same
They
time
play
though. In
faster
fact, I've had all
games, have
4
much
of
better
them,
graphics and
but not
sound,
at the
and
same
lots of
time.
games are being produced for them, but they're more expensive to buy, from about £130 upwards, and the games will cost you a lot more too.
Of course, you might want a handheld. There are 4 main ones, and they all come with a game. The cheapest is the Supervision, which has a monitor
they
screen
keep talking
and costs
about
around
that.
$39.95.
What was
also
it?
has the cheapest game,
What
which is
was it?
around
I don't
£15 each.
do not remember
Next
that
is
at
most
all.
Popular, the Game Boy, which is around
Yep.
£70.
Had one of them
Also
as well.
monochrome, but with loads of great games, all at about £25 each.
There are also 2 colour handhelds. Games for both cost about £30. First,
And the
the
batteries,
Game Gear, which
you need to
costs
remortgage your
£100,
house.
But you can also turn it into a telly for an extra £60.
Oh,
by
yeah.
buying this
TV tuners.
Then there's this one, the Lynx, which also costs £100.
Didn't have either of
and
those,
is
to be fair.
technically
Friends
probably the
did, but I
best,
never did.
Although there aren't so many games for it.
Whichever system or handheld you buy, we recommend one bundled with a game, because it'll always be cheaper than buying the game separately. But do
Fair
make
enough.
sure they're actually games you want to play.
And one final word.
No, they always
Don't buy anything
give you
advertised
rubbish
cheaply as
games
discontinued or old
when it
stock.
comes with it.
You might get a hardware bargain, but you may well never find any games to play on an out-of-date system.
Fair point. Good
But now
advice.
back to up-to-date systems, and our main review this week is Mickey and Donald's World of Illusion on the Mega Drive. In this story, the Disney duo are amateur conjurers who've been sucked into a magic box and transported to a weird and wonderful world where nothing is quite what it seems. Here's James.
This is my kind of game. You really have to think to get through it.
Oh yeah, like I said, I always like the graphics on this. Now, I can't remember. Could you only play as Mickey as player 1?
That fishbowl took me into
And
a
is
giant room.
player
with amazing
2
things to explore.
the only time you get to play as Donald? I can't
In the
remember.
single player mode, you get to be either Mickey or Donald.
Oh, okay, sounds
If I was
corrected.
playing Donald at the moment, I would be having a very different adventure.
Oh yeah, because it was different levels for each one.
This is a 2-player mode.
Pretty
Mickey and
certain of
Donald need
that.
to help each other to progress. It's all about
I remember
solving
playing this
puzzles by
2 players.
teamwork.
Awesome. Really good. Really good.
I'd really like this game. It looks excellent and it's very playable. It's a must for Christmas.
I love this game. It's beautiful. It makes you smile. It's just like a cartoon.
This is a massive game with huge levels.
They've really thought about this game. There's some lovely touches. I'd definitely buy this one.
And so the final scores for Mickey and Donald World of Illusion. Everybody loved it. The boys gave it 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5 for both. Is that first ever for this series?
Christmas bells, ding dong, ding dong. Christmas bells are in my song. Hello, slimy furtlers. I'm just cleaning up the shed a bit, getting ready for Christmas. Anyway, here's a cheat for Tetris on the Game Boy. Now, if you're absolutely
original Tetris. You can get it for mobile, can't you? Like mobile apps, but you have to kind of go through paywalls, and it's not the same. All I want is a game like this, just a standard Tetris game that I can play. It's a shame.
Simply pause the game by pressing.
Is there one? Let me know. Is there a Tetris game you could download that isn't massively different?
You now press select, and your next block will be.
Oh, that's quite cool.
So you can have a little think. Right. I think I'll carry on with my cleaning now. Maybe I'll just have a little tidy instead. Put that there.
There.
Hey, Z.
452. These handheld games are only possible because of the way computers and computer chips have gotten smaller and smaller over the last few years. But here in Boston, they've just spent over $1 million to build the biggest computer in the world.
Ooh, wow.
Monster Machine has a screen 2 stories tall and has keys 30 centimeters
How did they
across.
make that?
Boasts the biggest microchip in the world.
That must have been
And you can even
CRT.
see the
It has to
electricity
be.
moving around inside. And it
That's
actually
impressive.
works. Using this giant tracker ball, you can get the computer to tell you the shortest route between any 2 cities. Okay, press the button.
It's like a GPS.
Boston. Roll the ball, then click on the button to choose your destination. Your destination is Los Angeles. Searching for the shortest route. Please wait. Go through New York, Cincinnati, Oklahoma City, Phoenix,
That's really
and
good.
into Los Angeles.
The Mega Machine is the star exhibit at the Computer
Mega
Museum
Machine,
in
right,
Boston.
remember that.
It's the only museum in the world that's dedicated to computers, and it covers everything from ROMs to robots, from graphics to games.
Oh, look, it's a Mac. That's one thing they don't talk about much in
I'm
Bad
not really
Influence.
playing.
Macs.
It's composed and played by the machine.
I
Yeah,
guess.
cool music.
Were they that big in the UK back then? They must have been.
Bad influence, boy. Bad influence, boy.
Look at
The
that.
oldest computer in the
Wow.
museum, the Whirlwind. It was built 47 years ago in 1945. It was used by the Army to work out where shells would be.
I'm sorry. There's a dummy's arms either got a really small head, or his arms. I don't know. His arms looked like they were just too long, or it didn't work in proportion. Anyway, back to the more important things. He's gonna miss
I
that.
don't think so. Too short. Instead of chips, the Whirlwind used valves. And they were so unreliable that it wouldn't work for more than a few minutes without breaking down. Lots of engineers would be running around all the time trying to find out which valves had broken and fix them quickly before the enemy tanks could move.
How did that
One
work?
of the main uses
'Cause
of
they
computers
couldn't- it
today
wasn't
is
mobile.
to produce and manipulate images.
Were they doing it and
Computer
then
that does
sending a
this to
message from the States?
And this. And this. Whoa! But the very first
Ugh.
picture to be manipulated inside a computer
What's
was
that?
this baby. He was
Ugh.
probably surprised to be turned into a line drawing by the machine.
Yeah, I would be.
This teapot is very famous.
sir.
Why? Because a
It's a
researcher called
fantastical
Martin Newell was looking for a simple curve-shaped object to program into his computer. He had this teapot on his desk, so he carefully photographed and measured it. Then he put all the coordinates into his computer. Other researchers simply borrowed Newell's data, and a flood of computerized
Kind of like-
teapots was unleashed on the world.
Weirdly like AI. Oh, speaking of
In the
which,
early days of computers and
robots.
a lot of people wondered whether machines would take over the world. This part of the museum
Not yet,
is
mate,
devoted
but
to
we're getting
machines
there.
that can think for themselves. Of course, the very early
Look
robots
at
were
that.
pretty scary. Not because they were mega intelligent, but because they might bump into you. The latest artificial intelligence
Oh, yeah, he's talking about
are a
AI.
bit more useful. In fact, these kinds of machines are so clever.
Oh,
that
that's
today
the remote control
we've been
robot
able to
thing
replace our camera
in the
man
background.
with one. It's reliable, cheap, and it never messes up. Hello?
Good old Z.
Pull the plug.
Stay cool, Z. Help is on its way. There's more information on the Computer Museum in the data blast at the end of the programme. But now it's time for this week's news and previews.
First, a Mega Drive game that really is different and brilliant. Echo was a dolphin who lived
Oh, yes. I don't know. I found that game, it looked really nice. Don't get me wrong. But it was weirdly frustrating. I never finished it.
Solve the mystery. The graphics
because dolphins can't breathe underwater, and it was really annoying. I remember that.
In January.
If you just can't decide whether to buy a computer or a console, Amstrad have solved your dilemma.
Oh,
This
the
is the cunningly
Mega
named
PC.
Mega PC.
Yes. Oh, I always wanted one of them. I remember exactly which shop I saw it was in my local city.
Slide this panel across,
Yeah.
plug in the
Amstrad.
joypad, like so, and then
Yeah.
put in your cart, like
Oh, you must be able to get them on eBay. Must be able to get them on eBay.
hammer away at Sonic, or change your mind and go to a spreadsheet instead.
Coming soon
Cool.
on the Mega Drive and the SNES is Another World. It's one of a new wave of
Oh,
games
yeah,
to be
yeah.
released on both 16-bit
Really
formats.
cool
This one
graphics.
takes you on an interdimensional adventure and uses cinematic zooms and close-ups to create the illusion of being in a movie.
Aha, aha! Ah, shiver me furtlers. This is a cheat for Monkey Island 2 on the Amiga. Now then, this game comes with 11 discs.
Is that a real
If you want to
parrot?
Cutlass, sword, chop.
No, no, it's not, is it? It looks like a real parrot.
Cut out the actual game playing, then try this. At the beginning of the game, press Alt and W together. You'll skip the entire game.
Okay,
and
it's
win.
not definitely not a real
And then you
parrot.
can give your 11 discs to your mum and dad's placemats. Now then, where's that treasure? Have a look over here, lady.
11 discs, really? Surely not. It wasn't 11 floppy discs.
Ah, I'm rich! Go on, go away, go away. Now, treasure. Somewhere out here. Somewhere. Find it anywhere. Oh. Ah! Now this is my treasure. Now go away.
Now for some more games reviews.
Oh, Doctor Who.
As Doctor Who returns to our telescreens, here's a new game for the Amiga,
Awesome.
the ST, the C64 and the PC. Doctor Who Dalek Attack is a mid-price shoot-'em-up in the arcade style. Here's Amanda to tackle the Ogrons and the Daleks.
This has been very well animated and sounds good. The graphics are a bit patchy in some places, and it's very hard, for instance, these monsters take over the day. Now I'm in London, and it's full of Daleks. As everyone knows,
Brilliant.
bullets have no effect on Daleks, so I need to get some more serious weapons. At the moment, I'm trying to find some serious firepower.
The Doctor doesn't use guns? How are they going to get around this? Probably didn't think about it back then.
You find yourself firing more or less constantly at this game. My arm is starting to hurt by now. This game is pretty relentless.
There's Dalek.
Attack, and this can get a bit tedious after a while.
Oh, you should be shooting a gun.
I might buy
Sorry,
this
Doctor
game,
Who canon.
but it's not on top of my list. It's very good value, but it's not the most
That's what they
expensive.
need. A proper Doctor Who game. They tried before recently, haven't they? But I want a proper one.
But the enemies are excellent and the sound makes it work.
It looks
I don't
good.
like this game. It's much too hard, and it's difficult to keep track of the Doctor against the background.
And the scores for Doctor Who, the boys gave it 3 out of 5, and the girls gave it 3 out of 5.
Yeah, not
Only
too
average
bad.
scores, I'm afraid.
Dragon's Lair on this
Oh,
platform game with a very familiar storyline.
awesome.
The female has got herself captured by the baddies, and as usual, our hero
Has it got the video,
Would we be without them?
uh,
Here's Alex to play the brave knight.
the video cutscenes?
This is a hard game that you've really got to work at. I've seen this on the Amiga, but this system's a lot better. It's got great graphics and excellent sound. This game doesn't look like the original arcade version, but don't let that put you off.
Oh, yeah,
Really well,
arcade,
and the
fair
whole
enough.
game is smooth scrolling. There are some lovely monsters in here, and the main sprite, Dirk the Dairy, has a really unusual look. Maybe it looks a bit easy, but believe me, the sword's very hard to control. One of my favourite sprites is this little fluorescent monster. You've got to hit with your sword, and kill him, and then you can run through to the end of the level. If a game will take you about 10 years to complete, then this is definitely it. It's not perfect, but it's not far
You say
off.
10 years?
Definitely buy this game.
I thought this game was extremely hard, and the sword is a bit hard to control. I think it looks really good though, and I love the main character.
It's a real top-class game with great graphics. I like the way the hero moves. I'd definitely buy it.
It definitely looks good for its time.
Dragon's Lair,
Always
the
did,
boys
though.
gave it a very good 4 out of 5, And the
Oh,
girls
wow.
also
4 out of
gave it
5.
4 out of 5.
Ah, Furtlers, you catch me in the middle of writing my Christmas card list to my many friends and acquaintances. Andy, no, I don't think I'll bother this year. Violet, no, she didn't send me one last year. Zed, no. can't
Zed.
remember his name. Oh, that's everybody. Oh well. This is a go faster cheat for exhaust heat on the SNES. Now it only works when you're already going flat out. What you do is hit the L and the R buttons together to go even flatter out, up to 400 kilometers an hour. Ha, right, I'm very busy. I've got to carry on with my Christmas preparations. Ugh. Aha! Spikey! Dear Spikey.
Sad man. We've had a lot of letters and calls to the office recently asking, is it sensible to buy computers and games from America because they're so much cheaper there?
Ah, here we go. This should be an interesting segment.
Please, can you tell me whether or not American Mega Drives work in England? My dad says that they wouldn't because the electrical currents here are different.
Power.
Is
Yep.
there anything you can do to change them?
Well, the answer is, Helen, it's complicated, but we'll try and explain it to you. Let's take as an example the machine you were talking about, the American version of the Mega Drive, or as they call it in the States, the Genesis machine. Now, including Sonic the Hedgehog, it will cost you $120.
I'm going to import it there,
Current
isn't
rate of exchange is £78.42.
Wow.
In Britain, the same package costs £129.99. So at first glance, it looks like a real bargain.
But when you bring an American machine into Britain, you have to pay something called import duty and VAT, which makes the total cost £97.
Oh, this is good.
And that's the price we import it at.
And you've got an American machine designed to run on American electricity, which uses different plugs. So, to use the American machine in this country, you'll need a British power plug, which costs around £15. So your total cost is now £112.31.
It's going to be
The other
more.
problem is that the American TV
TVs.
system is different to ours, so the Genesis won't work with an ordinary British TV. It's possible to get the machine converted, but it's very expensive.
However, some modern TVs have a special connector called a SCART.
Oh, it's back before SCART.
You can connect them up. It should work, but you might have a black border top and bottom, and on some tellies you'll only be able to get a black and white picture. And your total cost now is £122.
You might as well just buy British.
Total saving of just £7, and you've no guarantee.
The American Super NES will cost you, including duty and tax, £113.53. You'll still have to buy the SCART lead, and with the SNES you'll need professional help to rewire the mains lead. SNES carts are different in America too, look. They're bulkier, they're a slightly different shape.
Oh, yeah.
Circuits built in. So, Violet, you are very welcome to that.
Thank you very much. To run British SNES carts on your American machine, you'll need one of these, a converter.
Oh, I didn't realise the Mega Drive and SNES were completely different.
You'll need an American game to get round the protection. So put that in. It works.
Oh, Lord, that's so
So
complicated.
that brings the total cost of an American SNES to £158.53. And that's £10 more than the British SNES. And although at the moment most Mega Drive games will run in any country, we've heard that Sega are just also building in protection.
But what about handhelds? The machines and the games are universal, but you will still have problems with the power leads and TV tuners, and the saving on handhelds are very small anyway.
Of course, whatever game or machine you're thinking of buying in any country, check it out first in the Bad Influence magazine. We've also got information from today's programme in the Data Blast, and if you send us a stamped addressed envelope, we'll send you a printed fact sheet.
Stamped addressed
To win a
envelope.
Menacer, a gun attachment for the Mega Drive, plus some software, and the fabulous Bad Influence t-shirt. We asked for the name of the actor who played Indiana Jones' dad in the movie, and the answer, of course, is...
Sean Connery.
Thank you very much indeed. The first answer correctly identified by our random selection system came from Chris Benfield, who lives at Windy Ridge, East Grinstead, West Sussex. Well done, Chris. All that stuff's on its way to you, mate.
In this
GDPR.
week's edition, we're giving away 3 Atari Lynxes with Batman Returns. The question is this. The British TV transmission system is called PAL, that's P-A-L.
Don't ask what it stands for.
Is the American TV transmission system
NTSC.
called? Send your answer on a postcard or sealed down envelope to the usual address, marked competition to arrive by no later than next Monday. And see you next week.
Right, as always, thank you to Retro Pixels for this. I'll stick a link in the description below. That is episode 7. Must be Christmas next in episode 8. So come back soon for more. Well, that stopped early. More Bad Influence Watch Along. Should be over now. Bye-bye.